Hello there, fellow scrappers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Fire in the Hold. Episode 2, Catching Our Breath in a Steel Coffin. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to set up the ship so that we can make use of that air pump and make use of an O2 can. And that requires us to, like, get some flooring. Okay. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to set it up here. Which means this thruster I'm going to restore and then sell. Because this is where the optical sensor is going to go. Because I just don't have enough, like, floor space for two things. Why are we suffering from hypoxia? It's totally not an issue in this cabin right now. Shut up, game. I'm not suffering from hypoxia. Truly, I am not. We're essentially on K-leg air right now. So it's not like I'm fine. I'm pressurized. Alright, uninstalling the thruster. Actually, that's where... How about I'll just do this? This is where I'll install the O2 tank. That will work. Rather than to move that twice. So the current priority is... get the Coffin ship with a supply of O2. Now, there is a caveat here, which is that if you only pump in a lot of O2 and it's highly pressurized, you're increasing your chance for fires. So we need to be cautious about that. Low pressure oxygen if it's not, if there's not a lot of nitrogen in the room. And I'm going to install the pump here. Actually, I'm going to cancel that for now. So let's go grab those items. The thruster I'm going to go pick up and sell. And then I'll move the pump back inside the ship so I can make use of it. So sell a 2K thruster. We don't need it. Alright, let's go pick the pump back up. Alright, the last thing I wanted to do before leaving is to buy a floor so that I can put a oxygen canister on it. So, let's buy a floor. What style ship do I have? This is Testudo 49 series. Alright. We'll just buy one of those then. And I'm not going to send it to the barter zone. I'm just going to carry it. So now we have a floor to be installed. And let's go back to the airlock. So yeah, K-Leg has 3 ports to dock on. So that you can do maintenance for ships that are dry docked. Which is nice. Come on. Keep moving, dude. Why is it saying I can't install floors here? Is that because there's no... There is no floor underneath this wall. Okay. I need 2 floors. And then I also need to close all my airlocks and dump all of the oxygen out of my ship. Fun. Let's go get another floor. Freaking Coffin ship. For real. Alright. Take a deep breath, because I'm going to be holding it for a bit. Let's put these floors away. Helmet off. Helmet on. Close these airlocks, because I'm about to vent out all the gas in this coffin. So I'm going to be uninstalling this wall to put a floor underneath it, because there isn't one. And I can't add another floor without a floor being here, essentially. So this ship was incredibly jank. More jank than I had expected. But I closed all the airlocks so that I'm not messing up K-Leg. I'm not like because if you open up all their airlocks and you let all the gas, that's a big old problem for the people that live in there, right? So now we have a little floor there. At some point, I'm going to need to fix all of the floors and walls on this, like, hunk of junk, because they're all wrong. But the good news is, I'm also leveling up a little bit, in terms of my skill, meaning that I'm, like, getting faster at doing these things. Okay, taking a breath. Helmet back on. Alright, let's get that floor back in, or the wall back in, so it's airtight again. Resume. Okay, so now it's an airtight, structure. Which means, in the compartment here, we can, low-key steal some gas from the station. And have a place to put an oxygen can, when it is time to pressurize. So what I want to do is I want to get the... Yeah, okay, we're nearly at the right pressure for oxygen and nitrogen. I don't care about someone getting framed. Alright, let's go ahead and use the fuel kiosk. We are going to pay for RCS fuel and power. And then we have no other fees being owed at the moment. I think we're ready to go. So close. 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 Use. Alright, Operation Get Me Some Oxygen is underway. They built me wrong as a joke. Sick name for a ship. Alright, bearing at 0, almost 0, there we go. Tracking mode for my own ship. So now we're blasting off back to the tutorial ship because it had a big tank of oxygen, and buying a fresh one was what, like 11,000 or something? So, yeah, I'm gonna absolutely not buy a fresh one. And we have a good amount of oxygen and nitrogen in this shuttle at the moment. And it's not like down to one thruster. My thruster weight ratio is still fine because I have a tiny little puddle jumper. So it's not really an issue at all. All right, ready to proceed. Time to bring it in. 8 meters a second. Nice and aligned. Clamped. Okay, we know exactly where we want to go. In fact, this part of their ship has a little bit of pressure because it, like, we bled pressure out from our own ship. Here we go. Oh, in this case, no, we can get there. Uninstall. And now we're at a ×3, so way faster than before because we're not a bumbling idiot anymore. We're still bumbling, but less of an idiot. And we're going to fly out this hole here and go to that floor in the hole, you know, that I installed. And install the O2 can. And then go back into our ship. What's the pressure in here? It's rather low for oxygen, so I'm going to pick this pump up and start installing it now without taking off my pressure suit helmet yet. Okay. Control panel. The compartment right now has 38 kPa, and it's like only a little bit of oxygen. So I'm going to control panel this thing, and I'm going to slow on. And as you can see, it's adding oxygen to the room. I don't want to over-oxygenate it, because if I do that, it's a explosion risk. But I'm going to raise the oxygen kPa to like something like 25-ish. And then take off my helmet. Control panel. Off. Helmet off. It's breathable. It's not great, but I'm not going to die. I'm also cold because I don't have a heater or anything. But you know, whatever. I'm alive, and like that's 90% of the battle. All right. In this hunker junker, there might be. I might want to get that nav station if I can grab it. I'm also going to force open these doors. Whatever, I don't care. I just don't want, like, at some point they might close and lock. So let's go ahead and, what is in here? I'm going to uninstall this wall and see what's on the other side. What did I uninstall? The floor? Dang it. Uninstall the wall. See what's on the other side. It's a bin with junk. Okay, I'm feeling a little unwell. Copy that. And if you're ever wondering about your stats here, general malaise, and this is because a mild headache. Oh, it doesn't even have the status effect. But hypercapnia is like too much CO2 in our blood. So we're going to need to address that if we continue feeling unwell. And nav stations are typically... Okay, here we go. O2 high. Cancel. Go back to the shuttle. And refresh. Compartment here. Might want a little bit more oxygen. So control panel. And the reason why I can't, like, auto, I don't think is going to work, is there's no oxygen sensor for this room. Like, I don't have an oxygen sensor on board. So I can't set it to auto. It is not going to do anything. Because normally it would try to keep it within a human breathable ratio. But, like, yeah, there's no sensor for that yet. Okay, so now we are reoxygenated the room a little bit. And obviously what's going to end up happening here, because we don't have a better setup, is like we're going to waste a lot of oxygen. So this is definitely a system to be improved at some point, but it can't really be improved until I have more funds, because my salvage license is going to run out. And as soon as my salvage license runs out, our means to make money goes out the window pretty hard. Okay, still getting the O2 high. We're getting pretty close to having this thing uninstalled. And then the other thing is there might be the components required for maintaining it here. Oh wow, they really depressurize this room. How much money do I owe for this coffin? 100K or so. Yeah, I shouldn't be hypoxic anymore. Just hungry. All right, let's go back. The other thing is, you might have just saw those conduits spark. Electrical components that are like low on HP will start to spark, which is a fire hazard. In order to repair this, we need 5 electrical parts, and there's 3 right here. And the king here might be worth taking as well, but there might not be space. I don't think there's going to be space for it. Not unless I put my fire extinguisher. No, even then, there's not space for it. So, we have the nav station, which is probably the bulk of the money here. The mini battery wouldn't be bad to grab. There's not salvage space at the moment. And I could, of course, like, spend time to rip apart this ship for parts, but I'm going to say it's ultimately not worth it. So, let's reoxygenate the cabin here. Back to something breathable, because right now it's like tiny amounts of oxygen, because I'm going to need to breathe soon. And this O2 can's only used up about 2% of his oxygen because there's such a tiny volume of a coffin cabin here. Oh, don't open that. There's such a tiny volume for the coffin cabin here that it's pretty cheap to fill, even if it is wasteful. So here we go. We're about 22% oxygen. That's fine. Let's turn this back off. I can take off my helmet and sort of breathe. And what I would like to do is get back to K-Leg, repair this nav station, and flip it for money to be able to buy a salvage a 24-hour salvage license, because and maybe some food, because we're going to be running out of salvage license soon. In fact, I think we have, what, 1 hour left? Okay, there we go. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna hook up auto task, where we just like automatically start repairing stuff. Doing any repair tasks will make us more skilled at repair, which has us work more efficiently in the long run. So like restoring our shuttle is also building our skills. And the reason I can't restore the nav station is it's broken, so I need to replace components for it first. We're even restoring a fire extinguisher. Is my nav linked? Yes. Nice. So my PDA is linked to my nav station automatically, so we'll be able to, I'll be able to see whether proximity alarms are like real or not. Come on. Come on. Docking, please. I want to dock with gate A. Okay, coming in. Done. All right. I'm going to steal oxygen again and nitrogen shamelessly because I live in a coffin. Let's pick up this nav station and then buy the required scrap in order to get this up to working order so that I can sell it with my current license. So put it on the ground here. Open the store, please. There we go. So now my my death pod is being pressurized. So this thing needs a heatsink motherboard, 2 more electronic components, and 1 scrap steel. Let's try to buy that from the crap vendor. So, motherboard, heatsink, 2 electronic, and scrap steel. Accept. And some of it was dropped in my, oh, it's in my hands. That's fine. Alright, hit repair. And now with all the required components to be able to repair this... Oh, I think I didn't buy the scrap steel because I didn't have space for it. Yeah, that's what happened. Where is scrap steel anyway? Oh. You moved it to the bottom. How rude. Alright. Let's get this thing repaired, restored, and then sold. Doesn't drop on the floor when there's no space? I don't think it did. I don't see it anywhere. So I'm going to say no. So now we're delivering parts to it, the repair parts required. And repairing it. And once this repair job is fully done, it will be restorable. Before we do that, let's go ahead and get a quick bite to eat. I'm not going to opt for like actual real food. I'm going to opt for absolute horrible junk food because like that's what we have the money for. So I'll do trenchers in mystery meat. Depressing. One day we'll be able to afford nice things, but time to ponder what this mystery meat is and eat it. Yum. So now we're no longer hungry, and I'll fast forward through the repair jobs. The current priority is to repair, nav, and sell for a salve license. How much time do I have left on my license? It expires in 40 minutes. I can just read it. So I'm going to try to restore this thing as much as I can until it expires. So it expires at 16:02, which is in about 40 minutes, 38 minutes, something like that. Come on, Hunter. You can do it. So, like, 4 minutes before it expires, I'll sell this thing for whatever we restored it for, so they can buy a new license. So the more I refurbish it, the more it's going to be worth. The other thing you could do is, I tend, when I'm restoring stuff, to pick it up and restore it, because then you can see its percentage in your inventory. So it's like 24, 25, 26, so on and so forth. What's in the inventory? I don't know, but it's going to get sold. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. Time zoom, control, map, and nav control. Not very much. Now, this restoration is using up some of my soldering iron power, but I'm not going to worry about that. I need the money. And the condition I'm aiming for is 95% or running out of time. Anything 95% and up will sell for like full credit. And it looks like I'm going to be able to get this up to 95% before the time's up. Yep. So then we go over to the license kiosk, sell, and I can sell this thing for 5.8 grand. Oh, boom, because it's like new condition. Oh yeah. Accept. So I have about 9,000. I just paid the docking fees, so I have 8,800. And I'm going to buy a 24-hour license for 5K. And there goes most of my money. The old license here, if you're wondering, like, old licenses really have no value. So I'll just show you. Not wanted. I could try to, like, flip it to the fence or whatever, or scrap it, but ultimately I don't have enough time to, like, build up a rep with the fence. So, as you can see, nobody wants it. So what I'm gonna, there's only like 5 minutes left on it. I'm gonna throw it out in the trash. There we go. So we have made our first big purchase, which is the salvage license, which I will be able to keep for the next 24 hours. And we are in need of some cash. Shut up. All right. I do have optics on this ship, so I can look around to see if there's any ships that look like they're highly profitable using the optics that I have installed. Because a highly profitable ship is going to help me out immensely. This one... Alright, I think what I'm going to do is undock... Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Celebratory coffee? Hell yeah. Cheers. Alright, I'm pulling away from the station now. So I'm pulling to the south here. This might have some good stuff. The issue, honestly, that I'm going to run into is my ability to loot stuff. I'll go to this ship. My ability to loot stuff will be severely hindered by the fact that I don't have a lot of space and I don't have a lot of oxygen. So I'm actually less interested to make a lot of profit and more interested to improve my ship so that I can survive in it, or to get a Bingham suit. One or the other. Because making oodles of money when I'm like barely alive, not super important to me. All right, so now I'm going about 100 into my destination, and I'll update the priority up. What I want to do is improve the Coffin ship's survivability. So, I'd be looking for an N2 tank, a pump, an O2 sensor, an N2 sensor, and then a door. Because just an airlock without another door comes with some real... I outgas a lot every time I cycle the airlock. So those things are going to be probably the most important. I'm not going to go back to the tutorial wreck, and again, no backseating. The tutorial wreck has nothing of actual value left on it. So burning fuel and oxygen to go back to a wreck that you know has virtually nothing has virtually no value. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Yep, it was a false alarm. There was no way I was that close. It was just someone parking at K-Leg, throwing alarms. So we're just trying to restore stuff on the ship, especially the electrical stuff, because if it gets too wrecked, it will be an ignition source for fires. The problem is, with the nav station and the battery nested like it is, it's going to be hard to restore the stuff down here, because I just don't have physical access to it without uninstalling the nav station first, so that's going to be last. This might be real. Yep, this is real. All right, we are going to be docking with this much larger craft. Let's hope there's no, like, pirates on it that want to kill me. First, derelict. The clamps on your docking ring engage, and your hull resonates like a strung gong. While your sensors scan the vessel for data, you close your eyes and imagine what fortune could await you on the other side. Perhaps you found a racing skiff, a nimble vessel with a lightweight hull pushed around by the top-of-the-line RCS package, and a 4-can Hydra intake regulator. Or maybe you've stumbled on a multi-cabin pleasure yacht, an elite catamaran, complete with a full bar corridors adorned with yards of crimson and cream Van Hummel interiors. Or maybe it's just a dead freighter, a decades-old Setsudo hauler packed with trash and sporting a giant hole where the reactor used to be. This is a junkyard after all. Okay, proximity alarm, go away. Let's turn that off. It's because I'm very close to whatever this other point of interest is. I don't see any obvious life signs. So, light in hand, toggled on, helmet on, going aboard. So there's immediately a pump here. This is a turbo air pump. There's some motherboards. I don't really need a turbos are worth a good bit. But I'm going to look for even higher value salvage going in. A bin with ammo casings and an oxygen can with 81% gas. That's going to be nice to grab. There's also 2 pumps here with an N2 can. What I'm looking for is increasing my survivability more than profit. So checking the walls for sensors. Oh, a angle grinder. Very nice. It's in pretty bad condition, but its batteries is fresh. And another stir welder in worse condition than my own. A GOT battery charger, which allows me to recharge GOT batteries, the green batteries. That's really nice to have. I don't have a place to put it yet, but I'm going to want one. Oh, goodness. Hell yeah. A Weber laser torch. That is the most important tool that a salvager can have. That thing is worth so much money. Now, of course, it doesn't have a battery, so it's not super worth it until I have a battery for it, but I'm happy about finding one because, my God, is it important. All right, we just got a larger tote, so I'm going to move my stuff over to the larger tote and get rid of my old tote. I'm just going to put my old tote on the ground. This is a little bloody, but it's better. Drink pouches. Trash. Old electrical components. We have crates. This one is not locked. I could pick up one of these crates. Oh, this one's locked, and I'm just going to hack it open. We could pick up these crates and use it as or the other tote, use it as additional storage, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Right now, I'm just looking around to see what's going on. Just to see what's here. Because you don't really know what to salvage until you survey it all, right? I don't want to be spending a lot of time salvaging something lower value. All right, here's a better battery charger than the one, because the one we had was pretty damaged. Here's a better crowbar than we had. So I'm going to switch up crowbars and GOT chargers. I will need to make my way back for oxygen soon. But I probably have a little bit more time. A power drill. Nice. This one does not have a battery. Got it. Does my angle... so my angle grinder has a battery. I'm probably going to need my power drill more than my angle grinder. And then with that in mind, I can get rid of the screwdriver. Screwdriver is a nice backup in case you don't have power to your power drill. But like ultimately, it becomes unnecessary. We have a sink with no liquid. We do have some trenchers here, but I'm not going to worry about that. There's some other food as well. Hygiene packs. Because you freshen up with like wet naps. Some bullets. Oh, a PDA. A locked PDA. I'll take that. Because that's probably going to be worth a lot of money. And I'll unlock that in just a minute. Coveralls and a t-shirt. Now, I haven't seen any, like, installed stuff that screams important to me. There are no, like, fusion components or nothing like that. Yet. Let's go ahead and unlock the PDA, because it actually might have some visual... so I'm a hacker. So I could just pop it open like that and hack it. So... do you have... yes, you do. You have mass and power. So now I can visualize mass and power again. So if we do power, as you can see, there's like power all over the ship. It just doesn't have power. And then mass. And in the mass visualizer, we can see that there's a Kang intake here that's broken. A Kang intake here that's broken. And some other racks. So I'm going to use this mass visualizer to help me find the things to loot. There is an old laser ray. This is a damaged laser ray. So this was a reactor room that like blew apart. So I'm going to first check the bins, and I'll start uninstalling stuff because I probably don't have too much oxygen left. Another power drill with no battery. This is in slightly better condition than my other one. So I'll switch and put the other one on the ground. There is a IR sensor here, infrared sensor. So that finds engines and torches It gives you an additional optical layer, additional level of optics. For now, I might grab it if it's like worth the salvage, but probably not if I'm probably not going to install it because there's nowhere to physically install it. Oh, an even better crowbar. Battle of the Crowbars. Okay, junk. Another PDA. And the power viz, the things that you can hack, the inventory into the PDAs and the data in the PDAs can be worth a whole lot. So this one has a modded tier 1 cartridge and another power visualizer. So what is the modded tier 1 cartridge? Let's take a look. This gives me power with... How is this even modded? It doesn't like have any mods. Okay, well, whatever. Let's go back to mass and power. All right, there's CO2 cans. Racks of nothing, racks of walls and floors. Walls and floors. Okay, I think that about wraps up everything that's did we check these bins? I think I did, yeah. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I am not, however, looking for backseating, tips, or feedback. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in the next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow shipbreakers.